Good morning, and today is really the day to tell the story, and the extended story from last Friday. We had a record number of people on the call on Friday, literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, and I know that number's doubled today. It will double tonight, and it will double on Wednesday, because it's just what we're promoting. And thanks to the staff, Adam and Fabian, and all the people that created an incredible flyer, and Aaron and everybody that was a part of that. We do appreciate you very much. And it's really created traction, or what Tom Mower calls the nuclear explosion in network marketing. And today the story is, have your story down cold and deliver it hot. And you know you're going to deliver it hot today, Tom, because I know you're on fire. I think you slept in the office all weekend. In fact, I believe the Queen of Sisel is actually listening right now. Just got a text from Roxanne, and I said, you got to listen to this call. So if you're not fired up, I know you're double fired up, because she's probably listening to you right now. So good morning, Tom Mower. What's going on about fat-burning coffee?
Well, good morning, everybody. And yeah, you're right. I did sleep in the office a couple of nights. You're right. So much going on. It really is amazing what can come from research. And when you're, if you look at one thing, why people become successful in life, it's just like momentum. Momentum is the perception of an opportunity. And success is really when preparation meets opportunity. And boy, have we got that in Sisel. We're just flying along right now. And now with the weight loss coffee come out, it has created a super nuke of energy that is just radiating throughout the world. I knew it was going to be really big, and that's why I put the announcement out last Friday about the super nuke we're going to introduce. And we introduced it there on Saturday, and it's just exploded all over and going. I've never seen anything like it in the history of the company with anything I've seen. This is going to take us to become one of the giants in the industry, maybe the giant in the industry. I think we'll be that with it. So let's talk about weight loss coffee. It's got everybody excited, but it's such a phenomenal momentum that's going on right now. There's a lot of things that are in the marketplace for weight loss, but drinking coffee and losing weight is really a sensational concept, and people are excited about it everywhere. And so we started to take a serious look at this, and we looked at the different companies around and what they were doing for weight loss coffees, and we're really quite amazed, because there wasn't much technology that was being developed that had gone out into the marketplace. But so I took a look at the what I consider to be the 5 biggest companies in the network marketing arena to see what they were doing for weight loss and in their coffees. And I was really quite amazed at the science that wasn't being used and what was being used in some cases. But let's regress for just a minute and talk about what is the biggest thing that is in network marketing of any of the products that are around. It's always been weight loss. Historically, weight loss is a tremendous product, and giant companies have been built. I mean, look at Herbalife with what they did, and others, and Cambridge Diet was the fastest growing multi-level marketing company in history. It grew to be like a $2 billion company, and just within a year or two, just based on weight loss breakthroughs that come through. So it's a tremendous phenomenon, and it still will be number one in weight loss for all time, I believe. And now we're going to take it to a different dimension, because having weight loss and coffee combined is just magical. You have coffee, 85% of the people are drinking coffee, and 60% of the population is overweight. What a combination to bring together weight loss and coffee, 2 of the biggest products in history, in the world, in demand. And coffee's the number 2 traded commodity in the world next to oil. It's the number 2 drank beverage next to water. So look at the thing about coffee. It's just sensational. And here we have a coffee that is the world's best tasting coffee. We're using the number 1 bean, and we have all of these health ingredients that we fortified it with so that it's like no other coffee in the world. And then you take a look at weight loss, and you see so many different technologies around, and it's because people are just want to lose weight. And now here we are, right after the holiday season, and what's going to happen is people come off the Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's, and of course in other countries they have their own celebrations too with that, but they come off and start the new year, and what's the number 1 resolution? Lose weight. So as I was putting this thing together, I came across some amazing discoveries and decided that I was going to accelerate our weight loss coffee and bring it out faster, because we could do it and we can bring it out to start with in the bag. And that's exactly what we're going to do on the 15th. We're going to release this weight loss coffee in a bag. And it's a sensational formulation because of all the things that we put in it. But there's 3 principles that's involved in selling a product. Number 1 is find the need. Number 2 is create doubt. And number 3 is provide a solution. So where's the need? Well, of course, people want to drink good, healthy coffee. People want to lose weight and do it as rapidly and easily as possible. There's the need. Create doubt. Most coffees aren't, especially those in network marketing, they're pretty bitter-tasting coffees. And so you drink them, you kind of gag a gallon down, I tell people, if you're making money, and try and smile like it tasted good, but in reality, with the beans they're using and the things, I've not heard much from anybody except they were pretty bad-tasting, bitter coffees. So here we have a great tasting coffee because we're using the #1 bean in the world, so we satisfied the need there. The second thing is there are things within coffee itself that can help you to lose weight if it's done right, but a lot of it's in the processing. And so what we're doing is really cooking rather than roasting our coffee, so we don't destroy the valuable ingredients that are in it, so they're all there to give not only delicious flavor, but all of the biological activity that coffee really has in it, that much of which is destroyed during the roasting process, or if they freeze dry it as they do with instants, you lose about 85% of it right there too with it. So we took the world's best coffee. We have a new infrared cooking system in it. We cook the coffee to perfection, not roast it until it's dark and crispy, and then we micro grind it, and we do it in a frozen atmosphere, cryogenic grinding with it, so that we can save all of those properties, and then we take it down to nano size so it'll dissolve easily in coffee. And here you have an instant coffee that's not freeze dried, with all of the wonderful properties that coffee has in it, all the health building things. And guess what, folks? A lot of weight burning attributes in it that is destroyed, I believe, in most coffees because of the way that they're roasted and freeze dried. We're not going to have that. Even in our weight loss instant coffee, which will be out later on, probably into March, with that one, it'll be micro-ground. It won't be freeze-dried, so we'll have all those properties in it. So coffee in and of itself builds energy. We take a drink of coffee because we want to have energy. It perks us up for the day. Well, this coffee really gives you energy because it's such a beautiful blend of all of the ingredients in it, and none of it is destroyed really in the roasting process or in the and because it's not freeze-dried as an instant. So you have all of that going in coffee with it. Now, we're going to make coffee even better for weight loss because we're going to add a whole bunch of things with it. But the second thing is create doubt. So #1, the average woman goes on over 40 diets in her life and ends up being overweight. That's a statistic that's there in a lifetime. So how can we change that? Well, we have great weight loss systems that we have right here in SISEL itself. But coffee is so easy because 85% of the people are drinking coffee every single day. So we formulated a product that you take 2 cups a day. It should give you enough to really support a weight loss program. Now, the one thing you have to say, because this is a good time to qualify it, the Food and Drug Administration says that you cannot make a weight loss claim on a product unless you're talking about calorie restriction and or an increase in exercise. And, of course, those are good things, too. So what we're going to do is to be absolutely legal and want you to be compliant, too, is we're going to tell you with this program, you need to watch what you eat and to do a little bit more exercise if you can, and it will greatly enhance the performance of the product. So now we've found the need. People want to drink a delicious coffee that's for them, and they want to lose weight. One-on-one, I mean, the 2 biggest products in probably all of network marketing history are here, coffee and weight loss. So we've really found the need right there for what people want, with drinking the delicious cup of coffee and losing weight too. Second thing is now create doubt. The average person goes through 40 different diets and ends up overweight. But now, so what's being used by other companies to fight this with the weight loss factor? And so weight loss coffee is coming into its own, but right now it's still not a big thing yet. But there's a few companies that are out in the network marketing world that are really selling coffee, and some of them are into the weight loss coffee. So I looked at the technology, and here's what I found. I reviewed what I thought was the 5 major competitors in MLM coffee, and I'm not going to name any of them by name, of course, but I'm going to talk about the technology within them. The first one I took a look at was a coffee, and we had some people come in and taste it, and it wasn't pleasant, they said, from tasting it, but the attitude was perhaps they would take it if they could lose weight. So I looked at the chemistry, and it had a pretty decent chemistry. They have Garcinia cambogia, that's called HCA, and yerba mate, and both of those two are functional as a weight loss coffee. But the problem with Garcinia cambogia is, what are you using? If you're just taking the herb itself and using it, you've got to take a lot of it, and it's kind of bitter tasting, and this coffee really was bitter tasting. But what it does is it interferes with the production of an enzyme that stores fat, and it also has an appetite suppressant in it too. So you've got a pretty good chemistry there, but this one seems to use just the herb itself, whereas if you're going to, and that would make your coffee taste quite bitter. And what I would think would be you'd want to extract the active, HCA is what it is, and use it in the coffee. The other thing is yerba mate is really just like a caffeine stimulant. It's a stimulant to increase metabolic rate and energy and things like that. So it's two well-known ingredients that have been out there, Garcinia cambogia and yerba mate. A little to interfere with the enzyme that produces fat and also to stimulate it with caffeine. The second company I looked at really surprised me because they claim they have a thermogenic weight loss coffee. Now, thermogenic means it's burning fat, and that's a claim you can make. You can say we have a fat-burning coffee, see, because that's not a structure-function claim. So I looked at what they had been doing with all of their advertising and talk, and I realized this is pretty elementary. They're using two things. They're using a buffered caffeine and an ingredient called chromium polynicotinate. Well, buffered caffeine, you know what that is. Of course, when you buffer it, you're not going to get quite as much of a buzz. You're going to have a slower absorption rate, but it's a stimulant, and there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. In fact, caffeine in many ways, particularly for the brain, is very good for it. So they have a buffered caffeine, and then they have a chromium polynicotinate, which actually is something that's been around, this technology, for a long time, probably 30 years or so ago or so it was brought out. And what it does is it makes the receptors that are on the cells in your body more sensitive to insulin. So it's a product that actually triggers the cells to take in more blood sugars or glucose or fat and to utilize it. So making it an insulin receptor stimulant is how that works. But it's a pretty elementary chemistry and not so dynamic in my opinion. You have some caffeine to stimulate with, and then you have something to make insulin cell receptors more receptive to taking in fat. That's basically it. For me, I'd hate to put out a program like that because I cannot see how it could be really too effective. It would help, especially if you're in calorie restriction, some exercise, but it's pretty elementary chemistry. The other company I looked at was, and now we really get into these Ganoderma coffees, and the one doesn't even have a weight loss coffee, so there isn't, and they're a big one, but they're not into weight loss coffee. They're into Ganoderma coffee, and so there isn't a competition there from one of the real major ones because they don't even carry a weight loss coffee. There's two others that I took a look at, and one of them has a black coffee, and with it they use a green coffee bean. But here's the difference. The black coffee that you buy and you take, the green coffee bean isn't in it. You have to buy a separate bottle of it, and you're taking a capsule. And so that's their weight loss coffee program. Well, does that really make sense to you? I mean, you can go down to the health food store and buy green coffee bean extract, which is chlorogenic acid, and so you really don't have a weight loss coffee. You got to have those capsules, those pills along with you when you take your coffee in order to make it work. So in the truest sense, it's not a weight loss coffee. It's a coffee plus a weight loss supplement that they're selling. Now, the last one is also doing the same kind of thing. They have a black instant coffee, and of course, when you're talking about instant, you've lost a lot of those power that coffee has in them because they're freeze-drying those, and a lot of those components are destroyed, plus the roasting, where they roast them dark, it is destroyed to a large degree too. But they've used the one that the first company I talked about was using, and that's Garcinia cambogia. But then again, they don't have it in their coffee. What they have is a bottle of it that you can buy. So if we go back and we review these, you look at the first one, they have a coffee that's got Garcinia cambogia and yerba mate in the coffee, but it's pretty bitter tasting. And it's a decent chemistry with Garcinia cambogia, and of course yerba mate is caffeine stimulation. The second one is using buffered caffeine and chromium polynicotinate, really kind of a mild and old-time technology, but they're calling it a thermogenic weight loss coffee, and I guess it would be, because it stimulates thermogenesis, but hardly what I would want for a product to stand on its own. The third one, one of the giants in the coffee business, Ganoderma, doesn't have a weight loss coffee. The fourth one is using an instant coffee, and then you buy a bottle of supplements with green coffee bean extract to go in it. The fifth one is the same way. Black instant with a bottle of Garcinia cambogia, and you take the capsules to go with it. So they really don't have weight loss coffees. They have coffee, and then they're selling you a supplement on top of that. So now we go back and we review the prices on this. And so the first one, if you used a month's supply, I calculated it out. If you took it twice a day, it would run you $87.50 a month. The second one I talked about, they have 30 bags to a box, and if you use that, it cost $59.95 for a month. The next one, where you take the instant black and then the bottle of the green coffee bean, it's $59 a month for the two of them. $40 for the bottle of the green coffee bean, $19 for the box. The last one is the black instant with the Garcinia cambogia, and that's a bottle too, and that's $58. And these are distributor prices. So let's recap the prices. The lowest is $58, and then you have one that's $59, one that's $59.99, and one that's $87.50 a month. Well, people will pay that to lose weight, won't they? But the technologies are not very different. You have two of them using the same thing with the Garcinia cambogia. You have two of them that are into caffeine stimulation, and then you have one that has green coffee bean and one that has chromium picolinate. So that's a recap of the products that are out there. It's not really great technology. Some is okay, but you're really not taking, in most cases, you're not taking a coffee. Your weight loss coffee, you're taking a supplement to go with it, which is hardly revolutionary in this business. So what we did is we put together the world's best tasting coffee. That's the Panamanian Bouquet Geisha coffee, which is the #1 flavor in the world as ranked by the World Coffee Association. And then I thought, if we're going to make a weight loss coffee, let's throw everything at it we can, because if people want to lose weight, they want to lose it as fast and as easy as possible. And this array of ingredients that we put in it are just absolutely superb. There's nothing like it anywhere in the world, because what I've done is now I've designed a system with 11 different weight loss supplements in one coffee, if you can imagine that. So first of all, we have the coffee itself, and it's microground, and it has all of the energetics in it, and it can support it's thermogenic. It can stimulate fat-burning metabolism. The second thing I do is I take the green coffee bean, but I don't use the bean itself because it's bitter. We're using the active ingredient in it and concentrating it, which is hydroxycitric acid. You don't know that, HCA, that's what it is. And that is really a great product if you can use it in concentration rather than just use the Garcinia cambogia, the herb itself. And it increases fat metabolism and suppresses fat storage and interferes with the enzyme that is used to store fat within it in what they call a Krebs cycle. So it's really got a lot of power, and it will cause a more slow and sustained release of glucose into the body after eating, and that actually will slow down and reduce the production of more fat cells too. So when you look at that, if you can slow down the production of glucose, if you can suppress the appetite, if you can interfere with the ingredient that is the enzyme that is causing fat cells to store fat, and then you're going to slow down the production of new fat cells, now you've got some real chemistry. Now at this point I need to step back for just a second and tell you I'm talking about the ingredients. Our formulation has not been tested by the FDA. This is a pretty standard thing that you have to put on it. We can't make the claim for individual ingredients, but I'm telling you what the ingredients are and what they can do, and then we can support that with scientific papers, which we're going to have a scientific page for, so that you can see it. So I'm going through today, because of the huge response that we had to the announcement that we made Saturday. It has been like nothing I've ever seen, so I want to go through and explain these ingredients to you so you can understand what they are and what they can do, and I'm talking awfully fast so that you can catch on to all of this, because there's a lot, if you can imagine, with 11 ingredients in this formulation for weight loss support. So there we have that ingredient with the extract from the Garcinia cambogia. Then we turn around and we go to one that is very exciting, which I'm surprised no one is really using, and perhaps many of you have heard about it, but it is a raspberry ketone extract. Well, if you've heard about raspberry ketones, they've been pretty darn famous, but what they do is they really are powerful ingredients for improving the body's ability to reverse weight gain, even with a high-fat diet in the studies that were done. It increases the production of a product called adiponectin, and adiponectin is a hormone that's involved in the breakdown of fat cells for energy. So here, raspberry ketones in the studies did in fact stop a high-fat diet-induced weight gain in people, and weights of the liver, and especially in visceral adipose tissue. That's the fat that's around your midsection. So adiponectin is really a powerful hormone that raspberry ketones causes to be produced within the body. So you can imagine that. How would you like that in your weight loss coffee? Well, folks, you got it. So then the next one we're going to take a look at is, you've heard of the green tea diet. Well, the green tea diet, there's a single ingredient again, but the active ingredient within that is called EGCGs. And they're very powerful because they're effective in increasing metabolic rate. They prevent the digestion of some types of carbohydrates, kind of like akin to a starch blocker, only in this case it's a carb blocker. And there are now new science that's showing that carb blocking is perhaps much more effective than starch blocking, and maybe even fat blocking. They also help to burn fat, and people lost their appetites with it. Now, a lot of these ingredients, too, and I need to step into this time and tell you, these things we're talking about right here have a lot of effect, a very positive effect for people that have diabetes, too. It will support your body very well in many of those types of areas. But if you collectively look at all these we've talked about so far, you're talking about really increases in energy, and you're working with the fat storage and all the processes that are happening within the body, and all of these are concentrated extracts to work on it. So we have all of those going for you. So then the next one we're going to talk about is we are using chromium polynicotinate. Sure, it makes insulin cells more receptive, so why not have it? But if you use it just by itself or with the caffeine, I think you're falling far short. And where you have all of these powerful ingredients with it, by adding this to it can make them even more effective. It's just like one piece of the puzzle, but it's not enough. But with that and all of the other things that we're using, we're having a tremendous result with it. Now, the next one we're going to talk about is an ingredient called evodiamine. Evodiamine is really quite revolutionary, and of all the thermogenic products or ingredients in the world, this is probably the most powerful in my opinion. And what we've done is we've taken a highly concentrated extract, and it really induces heat loss and heat production at the same time, and in doing so it dissipates the energy that's in fatty foods, and it prevents an accumulation of the visceral fat and body weight increase, of course, at the same time. So evodiamine acts both as a thermogenic and as a stimulant, and it also increases the amount of what's called serotonin within your body, which is very effective for appetite suppression. So this is an incredibly good product, and guess what? It's also pretty great for the libido too. On top of that, can you imagine all of that we're talking about? Talking about things like energy, diabetes, the support, and all of this, and then for all of these things, and then here something comes along that's good for libido. But the other thing that I will backtrack, where it's the regular coffee, if you see some of the things that we're talking about, this regular coffee actually now is very good for the heart, and it actually supports the liver, and especially if the liver has been damaged, it supports good health in the liver too from just the regular coffee, if it's done right. So those are the ingredients that we're using up to that point, and then we come along and we want some added punch to it. So we've put into it an ingredient called yerba mate, which we were talking about, which really helps to increase fat burning. It has cardiovascular energy, and with that, it is a great adjunct to all of this array of other ones with it too. Now, we're going to take a look at something quite revolutionary that goes with that, and it's a new compound that's just been discovered, and we call it pure energy. And what it is, it's an antioxidant that comes actually from blueberries. It's called a pterostilbene. You don't need to know that. But some scientists have figured out how to combine that with caffeine itself. And when you combine it with it, they form what they call a crystal molecule. And it does amazing things. Unlike caffeine, which if you, and some of these products that I've read to you are actually using caffeine, they're adding it to it with it. But caffeine gives you a spike for about 2 hours, and then the fall off is tremendous. You go below where you started, and so you have this big crash. So you have a burn and a crash with caffeine, and you can get the jitters and all of this. What they've done when they combined this antioxidant from blueberries with the caffeine and formed this crystal molecule, it's now one molecule that's there, is it gives you a sustained energy release that is thermogenic and fat burning, but it doesn't last for 2 hours. It doesn't hit the spike that caffeine hits really high within 2 hours and have the fall off. It just keeps, it's like the Energizer Bunny. It just keeps going and going and going. And the studies show that it gives you a really good feeling of energy. Not buzz, but feeling good, and it lasts for up to about 8 hours. So can you imagine that, having that in your cup of weight loss coffee too, with those kinds of thermogenics? It's really amazing. And then the last two that I'm going to talk about here today is a combination. And researchers were taking a look at the Mediterranean diet. And perhaps many of you have heard the Mediterranean diet, and it really does work. But, you know, the types of foods that you have to eat is not what most people would want to be on for a steady period of time. But people that are on them, that's where I came out of the Mediterranean, the area, they realized they were losing weight because of some of the properties that was within that. Well, the studies from scientists went into that area, and they found out what the ingredients were in it. And so they've taken the ingredients that were in the Mediterranean diet, and they've isolated them, concentrated them, and we have a product called Synetrol. And Synetrol is a combination of all these ingredients. And it's very unique because they synergistically, that's why it's one of the reasons it's called Synergol, they synergistically work together to decrease body fat. And it has really had effective studies on weight loss, especially on waist and hip reduction. And of course, remember, a little exercise, cut back on the calories a little bit to make it compliant with it. But it's a process which leads into the breakdown of what they call triglycerides, and is stored in the fatty cells, and it releases fatty acids, which are used to produce energy. So here you have this ingredient, which is getting right into the fat cells itself, breaking them down and releasing them out so that it can be converted into energy. Now, it's really powerful because it's truly a fat-burning stimulant with the release of these fatty acids from it, and it also has, these ingredients also have the ability to inhibit the activity of an enzyme which increases the conversion of triglycerides into fat, into the fat cells. But rather, what they're doing is it prevents the conversion, and then it goes within the cells themselves, releases them, and then they're increased and burned by energetic metabolism. And that's where the last ingredient comes into it, and it's called guarana. And some people mistakenly think guarana is caffeine, and it's really not. It has its own properties, which are really quite amazing. And so if you take guarana and you add it with the cinnamon, the researchers found you had an improved performance based upon the interaction between the two, because there's some ingredients in guarana which keeps recycling with the cinnamon and the fat burning and the other mechanisms that are taking place, the release of the fat from the cells and all that is increased significantly. In fact, within the studies that they did, they found that the average person would lose about 5 to 6 pounds a month. Now that's with a slight caloric decrease and a little bit of activity. But just on those two ingredients themselves, 5 to 6 pounds a month weight loss. So that's a pretty sensational combination. So anyway, there we sit. We have 11 different ingredients in our products. 7 of them are thermogenics in and of themselves. This is an array of weight loss ingredients that is just like out of the who's who of weight loss. Some of these are very exotic and absolutely new, and I don't know of anyone in the world that is even using them, especially like with the cinnamon, which is so revolutionary right now. And I don't see any of the weight loss coffees. There are only a few out anyway, and I just explained what they're using. Now there's probably a few others that we've missed, maybe not in MLM and that. But as you can see from the differences with what we're talking about in weight loss, this is a sensational array of ingredients all put together. 11 literally weight loss support ingredients to do anything from thermogenic fat burning to the inhibition of fat cell uptake, to the metabolization of the fat within the cells to release it, to create the energetics within the body, to interfere with the very enzymes that are causing fat to be stored, to create enzymes that make fat want to be released. To do all of these things together in one formula is absolutely amazing. So what have we done? The final step? Yeah, we've provided a need like no other. So first of all, we found the need. Second, we created the doubt in showing that other products are either not working or not working well, or they're very expensive with what they're doing, and we provided the solution. And the solution is SISEL Weight Loss Coffee. So now we're going to bring it out, and we're shooting this a target date for the 15th. It will be in a ground coffee, one that you can brew and percolate with it. We're doing things to make sure that all these ingredients are stable in heat and the temperature of coffee, which is a question some people might have with it. But, you know, we're not going to all this work and using all these ingredients and doing all these things just to have them broken down by heat. And some of them won't. Of course, most of them won't. But so we're putting them all together in one mega formula. Now, let's recap the price. You look at these other products. Look how simple these formulations are. $58, $59, $59.95, and $87.50 with these woefully inadequate systems, in my opinion. Maybe they will work, but do you want it to maybe they will work, or do you want an array of 11 powerful weight loss support ingredients with you, 7 of them which are thermogenic plus have many other properties, and that's what SISEL Weight Loss Coffee is. And the price? Hold on to your hat, folks. It's all in the coffee, and it's $45. If you can imagine, $45 for all of that in just the weight loss coffee, and all you do is brew yourself a cup. Just take a heaping teaspoon of it and mix it in your coffee if you want to mix it that way, or you can brew a pot if you want to do more, and you just take 2 cups a day, and you've got everything that we believe that you will need to maximize the effect of the weight loss coffee. So if I can recap this for you, let's talk about the dynamics of it. I mean, drink coffee, make money. Drink coffee, lose weight. Look at the power of this that we have, and there's nobody in the industry like us. Why aren't the other companies doing it? Quite frankly, only one of them, which is a small one, even makes some of the coffee. The big ones, they don't make your coffee. Other companies do. We have built a coffee manufacturing plant right here in SISEL. We make our coffee all the way from the beans all the way through to the end of it with it. We have a big laboratory here. So we've got our scientists working on this thing, and we've been putting it together, because some of these ingredients, I will tell you what, they don't taste so good. But what we've done is by the trial and error and tasting and the latest science to mask certain agents, to block others, to encapsulate others, we put together a formula where the coffee tastes good, and it has these 11 systems in it for weight loss. So tell me, is this not the opportunity of a lifetime? Is this not the giant product of them all? If we take two of the greatest products in all of M&M, coffee, where 87% of the people, or 85% of the people are drinking coffee, and 60% of the people are overweight, and so we take 11 weight loss systems, including the coffee, and put it together with the world's best tasting coffee. What have you got? I'll tell you what you've got. You've got a fortune in the making. And now we're going to put it in the compensation plan. And because we manufacture, look at all this. Look at the formulation in comparison to all these other companies. Their product's a lot higher. Their commission plans pay a lot less. Our commission plan pays a lot more than these other companies do. And as a result, we have put this coffee together for $45, and we're going to sell it on the market to you as a distributor. It has a retail of $69.95. So you can go out and retail it for $69.95, make $25 on a bag of coffee retailing it. But also the bonus value on this, we're going to have PV for BV, so we're going to pay full commissions on the $45, if you can imagine that. So here we are, well underpriced with all of the other coffees that are on the market, and look at the technology. Our technology is so far advanced. It is so much more powerful. Our coffee, instead of being bitter coffee beans, it's the most delicious bean in the world. Now, granted, it won't taste quite as good as our black or the other coffees because these have these ingredients in it, but we've got it where it tastes darn good. So you have a really good weight loss coffee with 11 different systems to support your weight loss with it. And it sells for $45, well under all of the other companies, and we're paying full commission on it. Now, can you smell that? That's not just the smell of coffee. That's the smell of success. We've got a product like no other in the world. We've got a compensation plan like no other in the world. And now we're going to be bringing it out to you about the 15th. That's our target date to have it to you. So it's time to get your rear in gear, time to build that fortune. Don't sit on this one. This is the giant one probably in network marketing history. I think what we started here this weekend is the launch of the greatest product ever introduced in the history of network marketing. And folks, you're here in Sisel. You're on it. We've just struck gold. We struck a gold mine, a diamond mine, all in one, coffee and weight loss, and it's time to really get running because this thing is a blast. It's a super nuke, and already the shock waves are going out through the industry. And what's going to happen this next year is we're going to go from a good-sized company and growing fast the way we are into a gigantic one that no one can even begin to keep with us. So I'm going to turn the time back over to you, Dan, and tell the rest of you it's time to get your rear in gear and put it in warp drive because we are super nuking and exploding out through the entire industry, and we're going to be on everybody's tongue and in everybody's mouth before this is over. Back to you, Dan.
No, Tom, we are, and you know, the call on Saturday, I mean, we got 4 or 5 monsters in the industry that are coming aboard. We had one gentleman right here, a pretty big monster in Omaha, heard the call on Saturday, called me, putting up a 20-foot booth 1st of February, is ordered. I mean, he's absolutely so excited he can't stand it, and he was just invited to listen to the call. We've got a major player down in Florida. We got another major player coming on. We got another major player, and we're going to be announcing on these. Certainly Melanie up in Sioux Falls. What a job she has done. There'll be over 300 people in Sioux Falls here on the 11th of January, and then probably more than that on the 21st of January in Sioux Falls because of fat-burning coffee and the other 100 products. So the coffee opens the door to success, and I've never seen anything like this, Tom. But let's go out to, and we got people, you know, the new order that Melanie just put in under Sherry. Well, you think of the Fast Start commission, well over $1,000 her first sale. That's her commission. And our goal is, starting on the 15th, of this month, we want to put 1,000 master packs in 30 days. So that's $450,000 worth of new commissions that will be paid out. Our goal is to put in 1,000 master packs in the fat-burning coffee. And I've got 2 or 3 people on the phone here today that said they're going to do it by themselves. But I said, let's do it worldwide. We got Udo Depeche. Udo, how excited. I know you're in Austria this morning. You come to us. You've been listening at $16 a minute. But are you excited about this fat-burning coffee, Udo Depeche?
Hey, guys, I'm really excited. Everyone hear me? Yes?
We can hear you in 40 countries.
Yes. Great. So, by the way, I'm not anymore in Austria. I'm already here in Hungary. We just start the next meeting in 30 minutes. People already in the room. I'm walking through the room. Everyone is excited. Of course. I was on the call on Saturday evening. I could not sleep anymore. I was so freaking out and said, my gosh, why I have to get in nearly 49 years old to get this kind of opportunity? I'm since 25 years in this business, in this industry. I was running 15 years old in my own company. Tom is the first company where I'm working with. So it's so amazing to work with a guy like Tom Mower. He's so amazing. Everything what he's doing for us. The coffee with 11 different fat-burning ingredients. So, my gosh, I lost all my water. I lost everything on Saturday evening. I started to call up all my people around, and now we're doing a tour. We're doing a tour here in Hungary. We're talking about the coffee. We're talking about everything. And if you talk about the master packs, wait till the European comes up with the coffee. Everyone is so excited about this one. And what I like really on Tom, it just says 60% of all the people are overweighted and 80% of the people drinking coffee. You know what it means? We have a 140% market. Can you imagine? We have a market which one is over 100%. So I love it. I really love this business. I love this opportunity. And I'm traveling around in Europe now for the next 10 days, I guess. I will not be home. I spent the last week, I was down in Dubai, so I spent a week with my family in Dubai. And guys, I say really, on this place, you ever see it never ends. It's never ends. It doesn't matter how big your goals are. You find always some bigger goals where you go in. And this is what I really like on SISEL. The goals what you can find, the dreams what you can find here, and the dreams what you can reach, and dreams what people already reaching here in our countries here down in Europe. It's amazing. And it's like Tom said, it's so simple, it's so easy. With all our products what we're having, we're just doing the meeting here. We have our product displayed in our meeting room, so it's amazing. All the product, we're talking about Sisel Lean, what we have already. So we did our weight loss challenge. We have people here that lost 19 kilos, so it means around about 40 pounds. I lost as well around about 40 pounds only with this one. Could you imagine if we put our Sisel Lean together with our weight loss coffee, we're losing weight like hell. You do not see any tomorrow after this one. So, and the point is really, our business is for each and everyone, and this is what I really like. This is what I really like from a point of a sales, from a sales point. If I'm going out to make a meeting, if I'm going out to meet people, I can be sure he is using definitely one of our products, because Sisel gives us a huge opportunity that nobody can have. You find a couple of companies doing a coffee. Okay, but what are people doing if you buy a huge pack for a couple of $1,000 with coffee and you don't drink it, you don't use it? People are getting rid about just only using coffee, but we can open our doors with coffee. Even if I'm using coffee for, for $600-700 a month only for me. I left in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, I left my house, left my family. So on the way out, I had already my first coffee in. I put 2 small packs in my coffee in the car driving down to Budapest. So before I arrived in Budapest, my 3 coffees, I went into, as you know me guys, I'm a bit freak. I went in with my Starbucks box, with my empty Starbucks cup, and I said, I just need a hot water. So I went into Starbucks, I got my hot water, I put my coffee in, and I mixed my coffee up in Starbucks. People looking at this one, everyone asking it with big eyes, and everyone is thinking, oh my gosh, what's wrong here? So I asked him, hey buddy, what are you looking? What is the problem? So everyone says, yeah, you go to Starbucks and you drink your own coffee. What is wrong with this one? Yeah, I say, it's an easy and simple question. Do you get paid from Starbucks to drink the Starbucks coffee? You know what people say? No, I have to pay $7, $8, $9, $10. Sometimes on places on really hot spots you pay $11 or $12 for 1 cup of coffee. So then I say, okay, you see, you pay for your coffee. I get paid from my company to drink coffee. You know how easy it is to get in contact with the people, and everyone looks like this one. Hey, wow, it's amazing. So talk with this one. Talk about this opportunity. If you go out and to make your home parties every day, like Laura Bianchini is doing a lot, and by the way, Laura, hello, I hope you're on the line, and I'm going to see you in February. I will be down. I will come down to Boston. I will see you. So go out, make a home party, and you can be sure each person who comes to your home party can use at least one product. Either if he drink coffee, but one for sure. If he doesn't drink the coffee, he says, no, I don't like any coffee, but I'm sure he takes a shower, he brushes his teeth. So if the lady is using some cosmetic. So what kind of opportunity you have? You can be sure to each person you talk on this planet using us, they can use one of our products. And if you start to explain to people, do not buy any products anymore in a supermarket like Walmart or whatever. Buy all the product what you need in your own shop. Buy your products in your own company. Buy the products in your, because you have and you run your own company. This is what you have to see as a business partner from SISEL International, from an MLM company. It's not you just an employee. It's not just your number. No, you're your own boss, your own chief. You do what you have to do, and you decide when you do it. And you have your own shop, you have your own factory. So why you should buy any product somewhere else if you can buy it in your own shop? So it's the best idea ever to go for. It's the best opportunity to go for. I really just can recommend to all the people, talk every day to your people. Ask every day people about easy questions. For coffee, ask them. You want to make money with drinking coffee? Ask them. You drink coffee? Ask them. You want to lose weight? Yes, everyone will say yes. You know, like Tom said, 60%, and I guess we in Europe already a bit more than 60% overrated. The last numbers, what I was reading, we have been around about 80 to 85% of people who have been overrated here in Europe. So you can imagine all the children and everyone. There's so many people getting overrated. Everyone is our client. Everyone, you know, people always trying to make a diet, try to cook here, try to cook there, have some special diet, have some special food, and you know, but our product, what you have now with Sisel, you can bring it everywhere where you are. You just pull it in your hot water, you stir it up, and it's done. It's so simple. It's so easy how you can lose weight on each corner, everywhere you are. You know, it's the best diet ever you can go for, and the really good one, what I'm always saying to the people, losing weight, making money, and fly. What you can say down in the U.S., fly down to Cancun. Can you imagine? You lose weight, and you get a ticket down to Cancun. We are flying down from here in Europe. We fly down to Dubai. You know, it's amazing. And this is a place, like I said, I've been there for a week. You see buildings, which one is 900 meters, which one we talk about 2,700 feet, which one is built up from zero in around about 4 years. Can you imagine? 2,700 feet built up in 3 years, in close to 4 years, out from nothing, spent $1 billion. It's amazing. So I love this place. And on this place, I guess I saw more Ferraris and more Lamborghinis I ever saw in my life before. So that's an opportunity for me again, you know. It's what I like to have, you know. It's what I like to use. I like to drive my Ferrari. I like to drive my AMG, what I have in my parking. So it's amazing. And all it's paid by multi-level marketing. All it's paid by drinking coffee. All it's paid by losing weight. All it's paid, just ask a question to people. Ask them, you want to lose weight? Ask them, you want to make money? You want to get rich? You want to have a second income? Ask them, you want to change your lifestyle? Ask them easy and simple question. What you have to see in our business, you have to make it simple. You have to make it easy. Like we always say, do it with a kiss. Keep it short and simple. It's really important. Do not talk too much about all the ingredients. Talk about 11 fat burner in one product. Show me one product they can come up with. Talk about the price, $45. Guys, if you put this kind of things together, it's I guess at least $100, $150, maybe $200, maybe $300, maybe much more than what we have to pay for this one. And here we get it in. So what we have to say, use the product, feel the power, feel the energy, and see it every day. If you wake up in the morning, you go to the bus and you jump on the balance and you see everything less, then look in the mirror. Like with a normal diet, everyone has less weight, but his face looks more and more angry because he is hungry, he didn't feel well. So if you use our product and you lose weight, you lose the weight and you win the smile. You get back a new life. And this is really what I can recommend to each and everyone. Really talk to all the people. Use opportunities. Use opportunity if you go in the morning, if you go to a regular job, if you go to some business, if you go with the underground or whatever. Talk to a neighbor. Talk with the neighbor around you. Ask him, are you happy with to wake up every day in the morning, working 8 hours, working maybe 10 hours for somebody, for your boss, making money for him? You know, the boss makes the money, you make the work. It's always like this one. Here in multi-level marketing, especially with SISEL, with our compensation plan, what we having, with our product, what we having, you can make a fortune. You have no end, you have no limits. It's really, sometimes people say the sky is the limit. No, it's not true. Not even the Milky Way is our limit. Not even the star is our limit. We can go much higher. We can reach much more. We just have to start to dream it. Bring it in your mind. Bring it in your dream. Bring it in your head that you can change your life. Believe in yourself. Main point. Believe in yourself. Use the product. Feel the product. And then start to talk with the power of the product, and you will see people will follow you, because the people will feel like, if you hear Tom Mower, what do you feel? Tom is on fire. Tom is the motivation. You know, he's on fire. You feel, even if you do not understand all what he's talking about, you feel his emotion, you feel his power, you feel he loves what he's doing. Like you said, he spent nights in the office. He was not sleeping. He was he spent some nights in the office to get ready to make us the best product. Sometimes I'm talking to people around and say, oh, I cannot, I have weekend, I have to do this one, I have to do this. But you know, Tom is a billionaire. He could stay home. He could just enjoy the life without to do anything. But he is doing it. Why? He has passion, and he trusted in us. He trusted in the science. He trusted in us as a team from the distributor that we can make SISEL to the number one. And I'm sure we will do SISEL number one. 2014 is a year for us. 2014 is a year for SISEL International. 2014 is your year. So make it remarkable. Make it as your year. Really count it on. Now we have the best time for it. We have the start of the year. Do it. And do it every day. And you can believe me, you can reach goals. You can reach limits there. You know, maybe not even dream about it. You can reach everything what you dream. So really go for it. Find your dreams. Go some places. Find your dreams. If you dream about a new car, go to the next car dealer. Jump into the car. Get the smell of a brand new BMW, a brand new Mercedes. Go in and feel it. And I promise you, if you jump into a car, if you open the door from a car, and then you breathe the letter, you sit down, you hold the steering wheel in your hand, you cannot imagine how does this go up. I'm getting goosebumps if I just think about it. Go there, feel your dreams. And if you feel your dreams, if you find your dreams, go into the weekend, go out, go make some real estate sightseeing, go to find some nice houses. Which one doesn't cost $100,000? No, go for a house for $1 million. You can do it. You have a visit, go into a house, ask a real estate agent, can you stay for half an hour with my family alone? I want to feel if it's my house or not. Then stay down on the sofa, stay down and feel relaxed and feel what you can do. You know, you will fly home. You can leave your car because your motivation goes higher and faster than your car can even drive. Believe me, this is how this works. Dreams come true. SISEL gives us the opportunity. Thank you for having me on the call, and I really, like I said, I will be down in the U.S. end of February. I hope to see a couple of people from you guys. I really wish you a happy new year, a really successful 2014, and I know we can do it. You can do it. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you.
You know, thank you from Budapest, Hungary. You know, I know you have hundreds there and companies, but we got people, you know, listening today. They're brand new for the first time. We got people making, you know, this coffee's opening up the doors, making a few $100s a week, to people that you've just heard from around the country internationally, making, you know, $50,000, $100,000 a month. And it's incredible what we're hearing from country to country, city to city. But I do want to run out to another country real quick, and then over to Boston to Laura. But let's run up to Canada real quick. Alan, we hear from Budapest. It's and Udo's covering 20 or 30 countries, on fire. He just got back from Dubai. I saw some of the postings, and of course, what a job he did with Sisel Kaffe over in Dubai. But you're up in Canada. We've just opened up Canada. Fat-burning coffee, 100% commission on a $45 pack of coffee, an opportunity for people, just like with Melanie Brown. I mean, her first order, her commission check next week will be this side of $1,000 on her first order. I mean, is this exciting or what, Alan Hordell?
Good morning. Good morning. Can you hear me okay?
Loud and clear from Canada.
Well, one thing that's really interesting, and Monday's always about getting your story down hot and delivering it, getting your story down cold and delivering it hot. And, you know, Tom did that this morning. Udo did that this morning, and everybody should do that. And if you don't have a story, you know, borrow somebody's. I mean, I had an amazing day yesterday. I spent 2 hours on the phone with Dr. Fisnick, And I'm going to tell you, oh, my God. I mean, him and I talked for 2 hours just like we'd known each other for 100 years. And it's the second time we've only ever talked. The first time was so briefly, but we talked literally for 2 hours, and it was just like we were the best of friends for 30 years. And the reason for that being is that Doc Fizz has got his story down cold, and he delivers it hot. I've got my story down cold, and I deliver it hot. Is it all about SISEL? No, it's all about the network marketing industry. It's all about how we can be better in the industry, how we can treat our people, our members, how we can build our organizations better, how this and that and everything. And that's about getting your story down gold and delivering it hot. And that's what it's all about. It's not so much about products and ingredients. You know, Tom puts the ingredients in, and I'm no scientist. God knows I'm no doctor. If the product tastes good and it's supposed to do what it's supposed to do, well, then guess what? I'm going to go make money with it, and I'm not going to get complicated with all the ingredients and all the science behind it, and that's not my job. My job is a marketer. My job is to go out and market the product the easiest, fastest way ever and bring the people in. They'll understand it when they get it. They'll understand it when they lose the weight. They'll understand it when they feel better. And they'll understand it when the money starts coming into their e-wallet. So I'm going to turn it back to you, Dan.
Well, thank you. And, you know, we've got some doctors listening to this morning on the call about certainly one in medical program and certainly been listening to these ingredients and products. And his whole thing listening to it this morning is he's so excited. He goes, this is exactly what I want to talk about in a medical program. So, you know, that is what happens. Let's go out to Laura Bacchini. I understand you. It sounds like you've got a date drinking fat-burning coffee with Udo here soon, him coming back to Canada and stopping in Boston. So, you know, you got your story down cold and delivering hot, and you got to be excited about 1,000 master packs in 30 days. We'll create $1 million in new volume and $450,000 in instant commissions. Are you excited about that, Laura?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yeah, and just to, you know, it's a long call, and it was a great call, but just to keep it really simple, it's just what we have already in SISEL is incredible, but it's just real simple. Do you know anyone who loves, do you drink coffee? Do you know anyone who likes coffee? Do you know anyone who needs to lose 5 pounds or more? And that's all you have to do to share them our mission. It's what we're doing each and every day. We're out there educating and empowering people, that letting them know that they can have a better life. And I know I'm from Boston, but it was a little chilly there, so I'm actually in Florida today. And I'm going to be sharing this with a lot of people over the next 3 weeks in a lot of different locations. And it's absolutely incredible what we have to offer, and 2 comp plans running side by side. And then Udo's right. There's nobody that works harder than Tom Mower. We have an owner and founder that cares so much about all of us. He works straight through the weekend to have everything ready for all of us. He puts in endless hours, and he just gave us what's going to be a blockbuster, record-breaking network marketing history in the making. So we got it.
Well, you know, we're going to go up to Fabian Loso, and I'd love to call on Eric and Jackie and Kenny and Jimmy O'Keefe and John Koga, and there's 100 more I've got down here. The calls went long. We'll talk to many of you tomorrow. But I do want to talk to Fabian Loso because, Fabian, we've went a little over 50-some minutes here, but the call is going to be tonight. The Connect call, you're going to have the largest Connect call ever in the history of SISEL tonight. Fabian Loso, tee it up for us.
Hey, Dan, you know, it's funny you bring me on here at the end. You know, I'm actually at the airport picking up some people that are extremely interested in SISEL because of our weight loss coffee and everything else that's going on. So I'm in the middle of what's happening right now. There is momentum. There is the buzz. I mean, you heard Tom earlier. You heard Udo. It's just amazing what's going on. And tonight, and the call is at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, so that's 6 Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. It's our official weekly corporate call, and I usually kick it off, and I pass it over to our official host. We call it our SISEL Connect. Our official host is Mr. Aaron Renner, our Vice President of Worldwide Sales, and tonight we are going to have a special guest. We're going to get Tom Mower Sr. to come on and go over everything in more detail where we have more time. That's a call that if you get on every week, we dub you official SISEL Insiders. So don't miss it tonight. It's going to be a great call. Again, that's 7 p.m. Mountain Time. The phone number and code is the same as the one you called for this call this morning. For this wake-up call, and so then I'm excited. I'm in the middle of this momentum, and I can't wait to really see this thing blow up the way we anticipate. So thanks for bringing me on. Back to you, Dan.
You know, thank you, Fabian Loso. Thank you, Duran Smith. Thank you, Christina Nicolas. And thank you, Aaron Renner. Thank you, Anya Taggart. Thank you, Adam Cardell. They made this flyer that brought hundreds of people to this phone today, and they're incredible. The back end that we have is incredible. And you know what? There's hundreds more I'd like to call on, but I'm going to open up the call and tell us where you're from. My challenge to you is everybody get 2 people to listen to the call tonight. There's going to be new stories, and start building your business one person at a time. Hang on, I'll open up the call.